Hello students, today we will be discussing about environmental ethics. I am Dr. F. A. Lone, Professor, Division of Environmental Science, Kashmir, Kashmir. The broad outline of this lecture is that we should study first what is environmental ethics, then the types of environmental ethics, importance of environmental ethics, principles of environmental ethics, differences between ecology and environment, then examples of environmental ethics, and then lastly, what is the relationship between environmental ethics and the religion. As far as the environmental ethics is concerned, ethics first means that it is the branch of knowledge dealing with moral principles. And as far as the environmental ethics is concerned, it is a branch of ethics that studies the moral relationship between humans and the natural environment with a holistic approach. It seeks to answer questions such as what duty we owe to animals and other living creatures, and how we should treat the environment, and how we can create an environmentally sustainable society. It seeks to bring together the interests of both humans and the environment, recognizing that both are interdependent and have intrinsic, which means essential, fundamental or key values. As far as the types of environmental ethics are concerned, on the basis of the values, we have got three types of the environmental ethics. One is the social ecology, which is the study of human beings and their relationship to the environment. Then we have got deep ecology also, which promotes the idea that all living beings have an intrinsic value. Then ecofeminism, it is a branch of feminism that helps us look at the earth as a woman so that we can respect it in a better way. Types of environmental ethics on the basis of resources. Broadly, there are three types. One is the libertarian extension. It's a type of environmental ethics that focuses individuals' rights to use natural resources. And this concept also stresses that an individual should not impose their own values on others and should instead respect the choices of others. The second one is the ecological extension. It's a type of environmental ethics that focuses on preserving the natural environment and its resources in order to maintain the balance and health of the ecosystem. This concept stresses the importance of humans working with nature in order to sustain it for future generations. And the third one is conservation ethics. It's a type of environmental ethics that focuses on preserving natural resources for future generations by ensuring that current resources are not depleted or damaged beyond repairs. This concept encourages individuals to use natural resources responsibly and judiciously so that there will be enough for future generations. Then, why this environmental ethics is important? Through environmental ethics, we are being reminded of our environmental responsibilities and our ecological conscience is being awakened. Without environmental ethics, people would continue to degrade and destroy our planet and live life as if they are not dependent on nature. And through this concept, we can lead towards a sustainable future. It can create ecological balance and the enrichment of environmental diversity. It can help us to fix misbalances by some minor or major actions. While humans are the most dominant and superior beings in nature, we are also expected to be the most responsible for keeping our environment, our planet, habitable and clean. Then it also teaches us to safeguard against cruelty to all creatures. It also helps to provide a peaceful and beautiful living environment. Every object in nature has its own purpose and use. With that being said, it is just right to be a responsible consumer, as humans do not have the right to destroy our nature's richness and diversity. Instead of polluting our environment, degrading our resources, and destroying our planet, environmental ethics leads humans to act accordingly for the welfare of all in our environment and nature. Environmental ethics also promotes better public policies and laws which help ensure that our environment is properly cared for. It encourages us to think beyond our immediate needs and considers the long-term implications of our actions. Then the principles of environmental ethics. Number one is that respect for the intrinsic value of nature. Nature should not be treated as a commodity or resource to be exploited and discarded. The second one is the interdependence of species and ecosystems. Humans depend on nature and natural systems. We must recognize our role in preserving and protecting the environment. Then ecological sustainability. We must strive to use resources responsibly and with an eye to preserving ecosystems and biodiversity. Then we have got human responsibility. We are responsible for our own actions and decisions and their consequences for the environment. And human equity. We must strive for a just world where the rights and needs of humans, animals, and plants are respected and protected. Then the precautionary principles. We should take precautions against environmental harm even when scientific evidence is inconclusive. Then right to know. Individuals have the right to access information about the environmental issues. And similarly, right to participate. Citizens have the right to participate in environmental decisions and policy making. Then you have got different types of the environmental ethics and its principles. Number one is anthropocentrism. It suggests that the human beings are the most important beings. All other living beings are only accessories that would assist in their survival. And similarly, you have got non-anthropocentrism, and this principle gives value to every object, every animal in nature. It is a principle that believes in everything that sustains itself in nature. Then third one is the psychocentrism. It is the principle that believes that human beings hold more value in the environment since their mental capacities are better developed and far more complex than any other element in the environment. And then the fourth one is the biocentrism. It is a term that holds not only an ecological but also a political value. It is a philosophy that imparts importance to all living beings. In terms of environmental ethics, biocentrism is the principle that ensures the proper balance of ecology on the planet. Then fifth one is the holism. Holism considers environment system as a whole rather than being individual parts of something. It considers these environmental systems to be valuable. Then the sixth one is resourcism, and this is the principle of resourcism says that nature is considered to be valuable only because of it has resources to provide with, thus nature ought to be exploited. Then the next one is the speciesism. This principle of speciesism justifies the superiority of human race. It also justifies the exploitation and maltreatment of animals by humankind. Eighth one is the moral considerability. Moral considerable towards a being means that we agree that all interactions whatsoever with the being is bound by all moral values. And instrumental value. The instrument value is the value imparted to a being as long as it can serve us with some resource. Third one is the intrinsic value, which means that the value attached to a being just for itself and not only for its resourcefulness. The 11th one is the aesthetic value. It is imparted to a being by virtue of its looks or its beauty. Then we have got the 12th one, animal liberation or animal rights, as is evident from its name. Animal liberation or rights tries to secure animal life and ensures their welfare by enforcing certain laws. And the last one is the animal welfare. It ensures that the animals are treated well and also very humanely. Then what is the difference between two important terms? One is called as ecology and environmental ethics. Ecology is the scientific study of the relationship between organisms and their environment, while environmental ethics focuses on how humans should interact with the natural environment. While as ecology looks at how organisms interact with each other and with their environment, in contrast, environmental ethics looks at how humans should interact with the natural environment in order to minimize harm and promote sustainability. And as far as the examples of the environmental ethics is concerned, one of the examples of the environmental ethics is its action is being a renewable use of a renewable energy source. And renewable energy sources are sources of energy that are naturally replenished and can be used without depleting the natural resources. And one of the examples of this source is that solar, wind, hydropower, these are all basically renewable sources of energy, and these are seen as an ethical choice as they do not cause pollution or deplete finite resources. That means we have to rather adopt using these types of renewable sources because they are less, they create less harm to the environment. And then environmental ethics and religion. Environmental ethics and religion are closely linked, as religious texts often encourage us to respect the environment and our fellow human beings. Many religions, such as Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, and Buddhism, they all place value on the natural world and recognize our responsibilities to care for it. And in particular, the three Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, they share a belief in stewardship of the earth, with the book of Genesis proclaiming, and God said, "Let's make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea, and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all the creatures that move along the ground." This says that humans have a special relationship with nature and should care for and protect it. Similarly, in Hinduism, there is a concept known as dharma, which relates to the ethical and moral obligations of each person to their environment. This also includes the idea of ahimsa or non-violence, which suggests that all living things should be treated with compassion and respect. Similarly, Buddhism also encourages us to take an ethical approach to the natural world by considering how our actions will impact the environment. And in Islam also, there are a lot of Quranic verses emphasizing the maintenance of balance in this universe. For example, in Surah Al-Rahman, you will find that from verses 1 to 9, it says that you have to make a balance between the different types of the things in this universe. And also there are many sayings of the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. For example, "O Allah's Messenger, is there any reward for us in serving animals?" And then the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam replied, "Yes, there is a reward for saving an animate," and it has been reported in Bukhari, hadith number 2466. Thank you, students, for watching this video. All the best. Take care.